Hi, Blake. I know it's painful, but would you mind going over the 4th and 17? What specifically should have happened on that play?
The bottom line is we didn't execute the call. We run the same pressure earlier in the game and actually got a sack on it. I don't really necessarily want to go into specifics as far as who was supposed to do what, but we watch it as a defense last night, and if we execute the call, it probably ends a little bit differently. But that's part of it, and that's part of coaching. That's something I got to do a better job with, and making sure that our players know how to execute every single call. And as a coordinator, I own that. So we got to move on from it. There's still a lot of ball left to be played, but at the end of the day, 11 guys got to be on the same page, and we'll be as good as we want to be.
Blake, talk about the beginning of the game. Obviously, they came out real fast, and a lot of people often equate that to that team wasn't ready to play or anything like that. But sometimes you just get beat, and so talk about what you saw when you look back at that and their quick start.
I think it was a combination of both things you just said, Gary. I think coming off of a bye week, I don't think it was necessarily not ready to play, but I keep going back to being inexperienced, especially in the secondary, and being able to make checks quickly and adjusting to those. And I don't think we did a great job with that. And in the same breath, credit them. I thought they did a good job going fast tempo, which we knew they were going to do. But that's part of the game. That's something we have to settle in on and get better at week to week. But overall, I was proud of the way the guys responded. We took it on the chin early. We bounced back, and unfortunately, the last two drives kind of didn't execute the way we had been for 2.5 quarters. So we got to continue to build on that.
How challenging was it once Amari Carter got ejected from the game, good targeting, and what you see from the safeties?
I thought Rob Knowles came in and did a great job. It hurts losing Amari, even though he hadn't played a ton of football. Brings a calmness to the secondary, I would say. He is a leader back there. But I can say the same thing about Rob. And more than anything, it kills me for Amari. I don't think it was intentional when you go back and watch the tape. And unfortunately, that's the world we live in, and we know that as defensive players. But my hat's off to Rob Knowles. He came in, and I don't think we skipped a beat back there. It hurt from a depth perspective for sure. But a lot of credit goes to Rob Knowles and being prepared just like the starter.
Blake, if you could assess the pass rush, do you feel it's where it needs to be right now?
Yeah, I think we're doing a good job rushing the passer, and really when you go back and watch the tape, their quarterback made 3 or 4 really good throws under pressure, and their receivers made really good catches, which you tip your hat when a team executes like that. But I think we're getting pressure there. The quarterback did a better job protecting the football than he did in the first week that he played. But I do think our pass rush is there. I think we ended up with whatever it was, 4 sacks and having a lot more hits on him throughout the night. But we knew going in he's a tough kid, and hats off to him. I thought he did a good job, staying poised throughout the pressure.
Blake, two things on Gervin Hall. We know how talented he is. How do you think he's played through 2 games? And also going to ask you about starting Ivy over Blades, even though Blades seemingly played well in the opener. What went into that decision?
I think Gervin, you asked the first part of your question, and I've said it since I've been here, talent's not going to be our issue. I think experience is our issue, and there's going to be growing pains. I think Gervin will be the first one to tell you he didn't play his best game. That hurts whenever you lose Amari, because Rob really conflicts between the two and played both free safety and rover for us. So maybe being able to take Gervin out for a little bit and let him catch his breath, we didn't have that luxury this game. He's going to continue to get better, and I know he's beat up after this game, and in a way that's something, it's important to him. And he's got to continue to get better, continue to practice better every single day, and he'll be fine. He just has to get more and more reps. And like I said, there's no substitution for experience. The second part of the question with DJ, we went ahead and started DJ, and we grade every single thing in practice, and he had a better week of practice than now. Thought you could tell looking back on the film, he started very slowly. Obviously, that was his first game of the season, so, he once he settled in, he was fine. But I thought Al did a good, Al played, I think it was 25 snaps or something like that. He did a really nice job for us when he came in, and that's what you need. You can't play football, defensive football anymore with 11 guys. So having the luxury of 3, and even I would throw it to Corey Couch in there, he continues to get better and better. 4 quality corners is going to make us a better defensive all around.
So in Florida and now against Greg Russo's making plays on the interior defensive line, is that more of something from a depth standpoint, or do you guys feel comfortable playing him inside rather than his natural position?
That's really on our third down package where you see him inside, and we're going to continue to get him on the field more and more and more. He has had 2 really good weeks, like you just noted. I'm really proud of him getting better and better and better. Going back from last spring, coming off an injury, you can see how he's just progressed, become more and more comfortable. He's doing some really good things at defensive end, and I think he adds a huge dimension for us on third down, sliding him inside, rushing the passer. So you'll see more and more of Greg Russo as the season progresses.
It seems like during these first 2 games that the opposing teams are kind of targeting the strikers. Is that something you expect? And just in general, how do you feel like they've done in coverage?
I think they've been up and down. I think it was probably maybe not so much targeting as our strikers as that's been, when you look at Florida and North Carolina, that's probably been their strongest point at the receiver position is their slots. When you look at Tony from Florida and Newsom from UNC, and those 2 guys are very, very talented. And as an offensive play caller, you're going to try to get the ball in your most talented playmaker's hands. So I don't necessarily, would say it's picking on our strikers, but I think they've been up and down. I know Coach Packey's been hard on them this week. Just trusting their technique, trust what they're coached to do. But I think they've done some really good things and some not so good things. We got to continue to build just consistency, and trusting your technique. If they make a play, let's line up and play again and not change what we've been taught to do.
Anything else for Coach Baker?
Blake, talk about Shaq. The outside world's grading him pretty harshly. I know that probably has nothing to do with how you're grading him, but like Pro Football Focus, for example, his first 2 games were not really highly graded. Is he getting off to a slow start?
No, I thought he played great. When you look at last week, I do think Florida, he probably tried to press and do too much. But I thought him and Pickney, and I don't know what Pro Football Focus graded Pickney, but I thought those 2 played significantly better this week versus North Carolina. I know Shaq had missed 1 tackle. I don't think Pickney had missed 1 last week. But I thought they both played really, really well. They seemed a lot more poised throughout the game. And they're going to continue to get better, as the year goes on. But I thought Shaq Quarterman did a heck of a job versus North Carolina.